Why the water is dropping, but I'm not going to mention it. That I know. But anyway, the time's probably almost up. What else you got on here for the agenda? How much you plan on? You guys can't raise it over 3.5%, can you? 5? Oh my God. They never did that before. And you guys took that huge old hike. It wasn't that way before. Huh. Well, I guess that's the tax of living in the city, right, bud? And nobody's going to be eating much. There was a deal on TV just showing, you know, back in the old days, it was talking about people, even during the wartime, was glad to have 4 or 5 chickens running around in the yard right downtown when they're building stuff around, moving during wartime and stuff. You guys probably be barking on that and all your HIOAs or whatever. I think they'll be good. They'll be ready to be armed.
Thanks, Don. Anybody else? All right, we're going to run down to conflict of declaration. Has any council member received information pertaining to or otherwise had any contact with any person regarding items on the city council agenda? If so, please step forward and HF contact. Hearing none, I'll run down the consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that you would like to have a better synopsis on, or poll, or talk about? If not, Councilman Harjo?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, go ahead.
If you had something. I'd like to poll the council to see if there's interest in adding executive session under 74-206 subsection 1 subsection F at the end of our agenda.
That's fine.
Okay, I will make a motion to add executive session under 74-206 F.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Harjo?
Aye.
Councilman Workla?
Aye.
Councilman Garvey? Councilwoman Garvey?
Nay.
Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Okay. Run down to, we're still at executive session, consent agenda. If you don't want anything pulled, do I hear a motion to approve consent agenda as printed? Councilman Brennan?
I'm going to talk about my knowledge of E and F to help answer some of Don's questions.
Councilman Brennan, sorry.
Don and everybody else listening, the recent history of wastewater fees have been greatly I don't know if I'd say undervalued, but not where they should have been for years. And if you remember, we had a couple years where we had to do was it 15% or more hikes? And at that time, not this full council, but the other council kind of made a path forward, deciding that 5% a year, or no more than 5, because we can't do that without an outright public hearing, but 5% per year to help get us to the areas where we need to be. But the question of where we need to be is the question, right? And we know that our city wastewater infrastructure needs a lot for that, and we're going to talk about that in item H too, but we're going to have to add another lagoon or an entire wastewater treatment facility, which Chris, could you tell us our latest estimates on a wastewater treatment facility?
Depending on the, sorry, Mayor,
Depending on the way forward, if we do something that's of the expandable nature where we start, with something that'll meet the needs for now and in the near future, and then it's expandable out, we're looking in somewhere around the $60 million range. And I say that, and it's really complicated to put an exact number on it because we haven't actually engaged anybody for bids.
Sure.
We've had a lot of discussions about it, but no less than 50 to 60 million for an expandable system.
So, I don't know if you could hear him. I think I got the mic here. I don't know if you guys do. 50 or 60 million starting, like minimum. And we don't have any quotes or estimates, but that's a kind of a rough number we've been provided with. And so if we go with the wastewater treatment facility, no less than $50 million. And our next cell is going to cost how much?
10.8.
$10.8 million to put in one cell. And we have how many cells that are going to be due for new liners here? 6 cells that need new liners. And how much is one cell to line?
Last estimates was just over $1 million.
$1 million for one cell. So is 5% going to get us there? Absolutely not. No, sorry, just a sec. So 5% will not get us there. It won't get us even anywhere close to there. But do we just stop and then ask the citizens to pay for all of it at once? The city's facing a lot of issues where we got a lot of financial hurdles ahead of us. And so to me, and I'm not trying to speak for every citizen, I know people have a hard time living. I understand that. 5% is a small step in the right direction, and that's what I'm all about, is small steps in the right direction. I know there's going to be an argument about like spending that money on other projects or whatever, whether it's and these aren't my words. I'm trying to repeat what I'm hearing. Right? Is that the water and wastewater money is going towards other things like fiber or whatever, and the city does its best to allocate money based on the work that they're doing. Right? We can have one employee that works, for water or wastewater 3/4 time, and for fiber 1/4 time, and we split their wages accordingly out of which budget they're working for. So just a probably a lot of words for a little bit, but a 5% request, and I didn't even calculate it myself. Tiffany, is that like an exact 5 or 4.9 or? 4.9% price increase, and I don't know another way to do that without going with a 15, 20, 30% raise each and every year to get us to where we need to be in just a few years. But eventually the city's going to have to take out a loan, and we'll ask every citizen to pay for that over the course of 30 years, and that's going to be a lot more than 5%. But regardless, that's coming. It is.
Mayor.
Councilwoman Workla?
And then Chris, can you also clarify how wastewater talks to fiber with the SCADA system?
How wastewater talks to fiber?
Through the SCADA system? How the fiber reads through is it the water or wastewater?
So
It's internet based.
right, it's internet based, and before we had the fiber, it was on whatever our
Right.
previous. But it's just it's in the simplest terms, it's like any other server talks. Fiber is the medium.
Right.
SCADA is our monitoring software that
Sure.
monitors our water, wastewater wells, productions, all that kind of stuff.
Right. So my point is that it's interlocking,
They
right?
are,
And so that's what's
absolutely.
confusing to people. When you hear fiber, you think of New Connects, you think of opt-in for LID1, but city also has fiber
Absolutely.
for wastewater and water. And that's why I just wanted to clarify as well, is that you just, like, I didn't know that until I got on council, because when I think of fiber, I think I didn't opt in or I didn't get a new build, but I just want you to clarify how wastewater and water and fiber are intermingling together because of the SCADA system. So
And exactly, we are the service provider for a system that operates the SCADA. That's how fiber's tied. You're 100% correct.
and then I thought you said over $100 million for a wastewater treatment facility plant.
And
How did it
again,
go down to 50
Well,
million?
so what I said was a scalable plan. I'm trying to go to the most reasonable number. If you want to build a full-scale 5 million gallon a day plant, it's $110 million or more. It all depends on the plan that we decide to move
Sure.
forward with. The most appealing one, from my perspective, is something that starts small but is scalable. because it's a smaller bite at the beginning. It's gonna be a big bite no matter how we look at it, but we can scale it.
When are we gonna be presented all these different options so we can move forward? I guess what's the
I can't
hiccup?
give you an exact date. I'm still trying to get
Research?
a lot of information together. It's no small task.
No,
to
sure,
find
I
out
understand.
on this, so,
Yeah, just
but I'm working on it.
my questions are the public questions, right?
Sure,
And so
absolutely.
coming from
I can tell you, Mayor, do you mind if I expand
Keep going,
a little
yeah.
bit? So I can tell you that one of the things I'm really focused on right now, I'm definitely looking at a wastewater treatment facility. I think that's the right direction to go for the future of the city. We applied for a grant, the same grant we applied for last year for the $10.8 million to put in lagoon cell number 10. But there's no guarantee we're gonna get that. We didn't get it last year, can't guarantee we'll get this year. So I'm actually focusing my energy right now on looking at a way to go forward where we as the city build that cell. We go to Keller for the engineered stamp, but we lease equipment, we get guys that are actually out there moving the dirt, building the walls, putting down the riprap. We would pay someone to come in and put the liner, but we would do the rest of it in-house. I think we can cut that at least in half, if not more. So I'm focusing on a lot of things right now, trying to get the best bang for the buck for the tax dollar.
thanks for the update.
Yeah.
Councilman Brennan?
I'm gonna pull items E, F, G at citizen request, H at mine, E, F, G, and H, and I'm just gonna basically say that I'm trying to honor a request. I hope this doesn't get out of control, but I'm doing it simply for the roll call vote so that the citizen can have the opportunity to hear how everybody votes individually, but I don't intend to discuss it any further. Personally.
E, F, G, and H.
Yes, sir.
So is that you're pulling it? Is there a motion to approve consent agenda pulling E, F, G, and H?
Mayor,
Councilman Harjo?
if there's nothing else from the council, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, pulling E, F, G, and H.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilwoman Garvey?
Aye.
Councilman Brennan?
All right.
Councilman Harjo?
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla?
Aye.
Run down to old action, old action, where am I at here? Old business, Councilwoman Workla, were you good with the letter?
Mayor.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yep, same one.
Yeah, no, thank you. It looks good. Thank you for writing it, Tiffany. And thank you for the changes since it did pass the House and it's at the Senate. So you now are directing it to the Idaho Senate Local Government and Taxation Committee. So that's great. And it looks like all the people that are going to be copied on that looks good as well. I'm happy with it. So thank you so much.
Did you want council on there? Signatures?
Sure.
Okay. Tiffany, add the signatures for the council, please. Thanks. Okay. All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the letter of support for tax exemption on military pension.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Harjo?
Aye.
Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla?
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey?
Aye.
Run down to new business. Items removed from the consent agenda. E. We'll start out with E. Councilman Brennan?
Is there any discussion? No. Okay, Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
make a motion to pass resolution number 03-2025R establishing water rates to be effective March 1st, 2025.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilwoman Workla?
Aye.
Councilman Harjo?
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey? Councilman Brennan?
Aye. I apologize. I was on mute.
No, you're all good.
Aye.
All right, run down to F. Councilman Brennan?
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
make a motion to pass resolution number 04-2025R establishing wastewater rates to be effective March 1st, 2025.
Second?
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Harjo?
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey?
Aye.
Councilwoman Horkola?
Aye.
Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilor Brennan, item G.
Mayor, the budget transfer request is something that's already been approved as part of our budget process. I don't have the historical numbers in front of me, but I believe this is significantly less than in years past. I'm grateful to see that. I'll make a motion to approve the budget transfer from general fund to the golf course operating expense.
That was a motion.
Yep.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion?
Mayor,
Councilman Harjo?
I as well want to mirror Councilman Brennan's sentiment. I think we're definitely heading in the right direction. It is still a big expense, but we're taking good strides while maintaining both the proper level of service and product that is the golf course. So I'm happy to see that revenue generation is a focus while maintaining what has been known and loved about the course.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla?
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey?
Aye.
Councilman Harjo?
Aye.
All right. And we'll go down to letter H. Councilman Brennan?
Mayor, I'd like to engage in a little discussion with city staff, Chris specifically. You made comment of you feel like most appropriate goal for the city is a wastewater treatment facility. In my mind, I agree with that. As part of that plan, is the lagoon system going to stay operational for as far as we can see down the road?
It will have to at this point. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
if we go with I'm sorry, drawing a blank, the smaller one that we can build upon for the treatment facility, then it'll be a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
It'll be a mixture, yes.
Okay, and I've heard the studies from Keller saying that that they recommend this to help us what do you call it, evaporation and all that. I wanted to ask about the letter that we received from your office about the grants. There's one that they were expecting, but they didn't actually get it back.
Correct.
Can you speak to that at all? Is it in our best interest to wait? Are we allowed to wait?
I don't understand what you mean by allowed to wait.
Well, under the public rules for obtaining bids, if they didn't answer, did we have
talking
it?
about the quotes?
Yeah. Did we have a deadline to respond by?
Technically, no, but how long do you want to wait? We've been waiting for these quotes for months.
You have been?
We have.
I didn't know
We
that.
started applying for these quotes last September.
Okay.
When I initiated this process. And I can tell you with the company specifically that has not given us a quote, they keep asking a lot of questions. They've given us a ballpark that's somewhere close to 2.5 million, but they still have not put anything in writing. So my intentions, the wastewater department's intentions are, we don't wanna spend $1, $2, $3 million knowing that we're gonna have a long range plan of transitioning away from the traditional lagoon system. But we wanna get something that will be, that is ready and available, we can get installed as soon as possible, something that will not create a massive debt because we have the money in our account now, but that's gonna give us the results that we need, which are we need those ponds not to freeze through the winter. This will stop that. We need, for lack of a better term, the bugs to stay active all winter, because that will not only give us that more evaporation, but it will reduce the mass, the layer that's in the bottom of that pond significantly if they can stay active for those extra months. And we're trying to keep, like I said, at the end of the day, we're trying to keep the dollar value at a point where it's appetizing and not something that's going to be,
Appetizing, really?
well, appetizing is probably a better word, but we don't want to spend $3 million when we can spend $500,000.
Sure.
Knowing that we're going to transition away from it. And the other thing that's important to note about the recommendation we gave you, the other two recommendations, those are one cell. The one that we want to go with is 2. The other two recommendations did not include the labor to install, nor did they including the electrical work that was required. So we would have had to come up with that additionally on top of what the quotes they gave us were. And then it's also worth noting that there would have had to been significant construction work done to the cell walls on the other two options, whereas the solar bees are freestanding. So to me, it makes the most sense, bang for the buck, less actual work on the ground out there, less disruption, and the best bang.
And so you're asking, I don't even know how to say, is it IXOM or is it, you say that?
Axiom is I don't know what the right,
IXOM?
I don't know either, but yeah, that's what we're wanting to go with, is those solar bees for 2 cells.
And you said that the triple point and IXOM or whatever was, neither of them included installation?
Correct.
It looks like your letter says that IXOM does include installation but excludes electrical.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay, and it's significantly less.
Significantly,
Okay.
yeah.
And you don't think there's any other
We haven't
way to
had
go?
any- well, we know we want to do aeration. We haven't had anybody respond to us. These are the only 3 that we've even been able to engage.
Okay. And just since it's a lot of money, can we ensure that the the state requirements for public, I don't know what you call it, Paul, the bid, you said you didn't, I'm drawing a blank, guys, I'm struggling, sorry. As much as it is, did we follow the state requirements for, and city purchasing policies
We did.
for?
We follow the city purchase, absolutely. Because like I said,
obtaining
we've been
bids.
going out this since September.
Did you post it publicly or just ask specific companies?
No, we just put it out there. We went through Wastewater Digest, which is one of the magazines out there, and then like I said, we've been doing the internet searches, firing off to everybody. If you want me to do more, I'm happy to do that. But
Right.
in my way of thinking, we need to get it done.
Sure.
And we, like I said, we've definitely made our attempts to get quotes, and I can prove all that. I have all that in writing.
Okay. Paul, that's passed all muster and everything?
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd have to go through line item by the statute, but it sounds right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mayor.
Councilman Harjo.
I'm really appreciative, Chris. Like, this is a big, good step forward at a pretty reasonable price. As we chatted briefly before the meeting, some of the reports as early as 2011 and 2015 were referring to aeration in cells 1 and 2 as the next logical step of upgrade. So I'm glad to see this come to fruition.
Council.
Mayor, I'll
Councilman Harjo.
make a motion to approve wastewater department's request to purchase aeration equipment for the wastewater treatment plant.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, can you give me 10 seconds here?
Yep.
Could, I know it's kind of in the memo, could we specify which company
Yes.
in your motion?
Yes, apologies.
What?
Mayor,
Councilman Harjo.
I'd like to amend my motion to include the, by title, the Ixiom Water Care bid as the awarded party in the upgrade to purchase aeration equipment for wastewater treatment.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilwoman Garvey?
Hi, Mayor. I just had a quick comment, if you don't mind.
You bet.
I believe I heard, I think it was from Rod Dudley, that why are we not using impact fees to pay for these types of infrastructure expansions? And I just wanted to clarify, we've needed this for a long time, far before impact fees for a new wastewater or any of that discussion was even brought forward. And so I just want to make sure that there's not a heartburn, I guess, for lack of a better word, that we're not using our impact fees correctly. I mean, this has needed to be done based on Keller's report 2 weeks ago. This has been needed to be done for a long time. And so I I just wanted to say that about the impact fees and what they should be used for and what they shouldn't be used for. So
Thank you. Councilman Harjo?
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla?
Aye.
Councilman Brennan?
Right.
All right. Run down to lid discussion, 501 update, fuel expense and remaining fuel funds. Councilwoman Workla?
Yeah, no, thank you for the info that you, Chris, got me over the weekend there, or Friday. So I read your letter here. It says fuel usage from September 1st, 2024 to the present is difficult to calculate as the same equipment is used for both LID and non-LID work. And I'm like really? My husband was like, if you're using big machinery and you're using it for one project for a year, you can. But if you're using big machinery and you're going from another project and another project, it's almost impossible. But you did come up with a formula. I'm going to read the formula out loud. The plan is to track the hours spent in LID and new development per fiber vehicle. Then we will base the fuel consumption on the percentage for each. For example, if the white Dodge gets fuel on March 1st and fills again on March 15th, we will figure out the percentage it's spent in each area. Divide the fuel by that percentage and bill appropriately if there's a way that makes more. Okay. So, and you're doing that with all the vehicles and machinery for that.
For all the fiber vehicles, that is our intentions moving
And
forward.
you did actually give numbers. You said the total fuel expenditure was $9,849. LID was $5,910. Non-LID is $3,939 is what you're looking at. So I asked for numbers. You gave me numbers. Thank you. And then I was also provided a balance for the ARPA fund. Tiffany, I don't have that right in front of me. Do you have that in front of you?
139.
139, I think. 139. So I guess okay, it's about 139,000-ish. Okay, so I guess my question is, Mayor, then where does that go? Does that plan to go to LED 2? What is the... Okay, just tell me what happens with that money that's left over if we're closing out this week.
So we still have Holly Troxel. We still have the procurement. We still got to pay, he's going to break out the fuel. What else we got?
We have all the fees that will be associated with the actual closure of it.
Yep.
Because we're going to have to do the public hearings, which are going to have to be posted, all that. During the public hearings, there's going to be opportunity, people come out if there's things that weren't restored correctly, if there's things we've got to fix. That's what that money is for those last minute things as we close it up.
Yeah, and then let's just say best case. I'm gonna say let's say we only had to spend $50,000. Then the remaining balance goes. It's ARPA, right? And so that just comes off quintessentially the cost per person per what's the word I'm looking for? Where everyone takes over their share of the costs. Proportionate share. Thank you. Yeah, no, proportionate share. Thanks, Paul.
Okay. I think that was everything that I had.
Councilwoman Workla, or excuse me, Mayor.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Sorry. Councilwoman Workla, can I get one last time? You went kind of fast on the gas charges and how
sure.
it was broken up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you just say that one more time?
Yeah, sure. So total fuel expenditure was $9,849.
Yep.
5,910 was for LID, and then 3,939 was for non-LID.
Okay. Mayor.
Councilwoman Garvey.
So I guess my comment to that, because I have had some kind of questions about how the fuel's been paid for, and the rest of the city operates on their own fuel budget, and so I'm not sure how or why we couldn't just break the LID and fiber out onto their own as the rest of the departments do. I understand the numbers and I appreciate the breakdown, but that's been kind of my thing the whole time, is that if we don't start accounting for these expenses, fuel especially, we are not going to be able to create a fiber budget. So I don't know. The rest of the city seems to operate just fine, paying for their own gas, and I would like that going forward.
Mayor.
Go ahead, Tiff.
Councilwoman, it's Tip. Hey, we use WEX to purchase all our fuel. So
Right.
every employee is issued a card appropriate to their department. And when they go fill up their vehicle at the tank, if it's $40 for the Dodge, we can't allocate when it comes back in. It's only coming in from WEX as fiber for $40. I can't issue a card that says fiber LID and fiber lid because the Dodge is going to make trips all over Mountain Home that aren't necessarily does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? When you fill up your vehicle.
Yeah, no, I just definitely think that there's probably a better way to do this to make sure that it's being allocated appropriately across all departments. Like the police department is going to use a lot of gas. Mm-hmm. They have their own gas budget, so that's what I'm asking for is just a little more finite numbers, clarity, I guess.
Right, and I guess internally we just created the fiber department heading into this budget cycle. We didn't code out at the start of it, so we're making that correction here to get the new connects into fiber correctly, so you'll see that reflection. And that was just internal and us not catching that, but we're getting it corrected on our side.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you have an excess amount of gas usage in the fiber department or any department for that matter, you're going to want to be able to track it so you can decide, is there too much driving around? Is there too much, or have we not budgeted enough? So that's just my concern with the budgeting of those fiber department portions. So.
Mayor,
Councilman Harjo?
something to consider in all of that is that we don't necessarily have duplicate equipment. And the equipment set that we do have in our inventory is used at various locations, some within the LID and some within the New Connect realm for commercial and industrial and so on. So it is going to be an imperfect science in the beginning, but the strides being made to account for that on the back end sound very sound in their logic. Just from what Councilwoman Workla shared about Chris's response earlier.
Okay, awesome. Anything else, Council? Run down to final comments. Anything?
Mayor.
Oh, go ahead.
So I would like to get Lost Pause TNR program on the next meeting's agenda for them.
Is that the date they wanted? I'm sorry I gave you that face. I just know that they were kind of back and forth on a March date.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, if you know a better date.
Is it okay if it's whatever works for them?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right. Okay.
I just want to point out that I support them coming to talk to us on that. And then I saw the memo from staff on dispatch service update. It said there's nothing to report, report because the past 3 days there hasn't been any action on it, or nothing to report because I just want to know what's the status. That's all the memo said.
I think, I don't think I know. Chief Thompson, Ty, Amy, Tiff, Councilman Harjo, and I are working on, we went and had a meeting 2 weeks ago, Chief? Yeah. Trying to work on verbiage, contract, all that.
Will we see that in 2 weeks? Or?
It's where I know Chief and I are heading to TVP end of the month. We're gonna. She goes, will we see it in 2 weeks? Probably not. What do you think, Councilman Harjo?
Mayor.
Councilman Harjo.
I think the TVP date that you'd mentioned in the email falls on February 24th. Mm-hmm. That being said, next meeting might be tight in terms of what is learned from the interaction of other mayors, other police chiefs with their partnership counties that offer dispatch services, but the focus still is to push that forward as expeditiously as possible for a number of reasons. Obviously, dispatch is an important factor in our community, but as well regarding the lieutenant position with PD, getting that unfrozen.
So there was, yeah.
Okay. I have one more thing.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you cannot make a video implicating council of something without us having a response, right? Silence is an admission of guilt. So of course, Councilwoman Workla has a response to that video that you made.
You bet.
That hits Channel 7 News even. All right.
Oh.
Here you go. I had multiple things on here, but I think I'll reel some of it in. Why are you bringing personnel matters to the public? Last I checked, those matters fall under executive session. Are you trying to deny the council the First Amendment rights? As you stated verbatim, these incidents have prompted us to strengthen and review our protocols for public statements by council members. As I checked with legal, council has every right to ask about budget-related issues and how a contractor is getting paid. There was no accusatory language at the budget session you were referencing, just a question that was made. Asking questions on how monies flow within the city is our job. I feel like council was innocent at that budget session on what the questions that were asked, and I just want to make that for record.
Okay. Councilman Brennan?
Couple things for me on final comments. I'd like to give a shout out to Brenda and maybe whoever else potentially could have helped with the letter. I'm sure it was some kind of teamwork of the letter of the notice of declining balance wastewater letter that went out, or is about to go out. It's out already. Okay. I think it was well written. It covered the issues that we spoke about, and I'm appreciative that you guys got that done and got it sent out. So, thank you. Next, I would like to ask the council's permission to call another council meeting under Idaho Code 50-706 to engage, for the four of us to engage with the county commissioners at a time in which we can all get our schedules in alignment.
Becky, you're hot.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
So if maybe our council president or a city clerk, combination of both, would maybe reach out for, if you guys are willing to go with this, reach out to maybe Shelley Essel and find out a time that we could meet with them. Maybe if we could steer them a little like later in the afternoon and not middle of the day, or even a special like evening meeting, potentially in at their commissioner chambers potentially. But the goal of that is for the council to engage directly about, to ask them what they might like to see from the city moving forward, and what we might like to see from the commissioners moving forward. Basically a kind of a joint communication session, planning session potentially.
Mayor? Sorry.
Councilman Harjo?
I would definitely support that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. All right. I got Valentine's Day. Make sure you get your better half something nice. There is a Black History Banquet Friday night, Elks Lodge, right?
Yes, and the Mountain Home Girls basketball team is playing in the district championship game tomorrow night. So in Mountain Home, if you can attend that.
And it's a whiteout.
Yeah, they're urging everyone to wear white.
So
Mayor.
6 or 7? 7 o'clock. So make sure to support the girls basketball. What else you got, Tiff? That was it? For that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mayor.
Councilman Harjo?
The girls smoked Twin Falls last night, by the way. Like, flat out smoked them. So they're on a roll. That'll be great to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Councilman Brennan?
Not to revisit old items, but by the nature of the video and the statements that were made, could I ask you just openly, like, what your intention is to restrict the comments of the council? Could you reread those comments?
Sure. So you said at the end of your video, you said, these incidents have prompted us to strengthen and review our protocols for public statements by council members. So that was my question too. Are you trying to deny us of our First Amendment rights?
Absolutely not.
So what does
You
that
guys
mean?
say whatever you want. I'm not going to turn this into, like I said, I'm not going to turn this into whatever. So
Mayor, what protocols are you trying to work for our speech and comments?
None.
Was that a misspeak in your video?
I'll have to go back and re-engage in that. Let me go look.
Okay. I'll re-engage at our next meeting.
I'll re-engage you. I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Executive session.
There.
Councilman Harjo.
Make a motion to enter executive session pursuant to Idaho statute 74206, subsection 1, subsection F.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla.
Aye.
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Aye, because I'm not going to hang up.
Okay. All right, executive session.
Tiffany, my mom's trying to.
Jenny,